Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun.
Good morning, everybody. I am Speculator Seth, and this is my trading session today, and I will go over the markets here, kind of discuss the themes that I'm thinking about, and then we will trade. And the big news today, and I'm hoping that, a lot of you people click on the link or whatever to see what's going on. Bitcoin getting absolutely routed. I will come over here. Well, we'll come over to this main screen and show you the Bitcoin futures. Elon Musk pushing things down over the past week or so, and now overnight, warnings from Chinese banks that they should not be transacting in cryptocurrencies and a plunge below 40,000. Many analysts who are probably full of shit and don't really know what's going on, but I think it is important to note. A lot of people are now saying, because 4,000 was broken, the downside target should be 3,500. We had a brief dip there to 3,600 in the futures, but we will see. And the problem with 35,000 is that now you've got Mr. Michael Saylor underwater big time on $1 billion worth of cryptocurrencies, right? That's pretty... So we're definitely in a situation. I don't know if it's going to happen. But I'm sitting here on the edge looking into the abyss, guys. Looking into the abyss. Okay, and it's not just cryptocurrencies. Over to the real charts. E-mini. Whoosh. Guys, this was crazy. Look at this. It dropped 50 points in the last hour of trading or so? Yesterday, I was like, buy the dip, buy the dip. I actually made some money. I actually made a teeny tiny, I held the trade that I had on when we left, and I made a little bit on it, and then that one it came back and I was like, okay, screw this. And then I tried buying the dip again and made a little bit, and then it was overall I think on the day I was positive $10 or something. But then I was like, well, screw this, and then it just completely fell apart. 50 points down or so. Well, I guess it wasn't 50. It was more like 30 points down and then another 30 points or so since then in the overnight session down. Okay. What else? Treasuries down. So a pretty big push down. I guess it's not a really big push because really, relatively speaking, compared to moves that we've had more recently, the push down in the treasuries is not all that significant. But markets seem to be reacting to it very strongly. And I read a lot about this in the headlines that the German bond dropped 10 basis points, and there's this narrative out there. And by the way, today we've got an auction, right? We've got a 20-year bond action at 11 o'clock. Okay, and so that's gonna be interesting, right? That gonna be interesting. Now, when we come over to the commodity complex, so oil is just getting absolutely creamed. And the big news over there is that it sounds like the negotiations to get back into the Iran deal is hurting the price of oil because they're expecting Iranian supply to come back online. This just seems like a really stupid idea to me. Iran ain't behaving well. You're just going to encourage them to continue, and they weren't behaving well when the agreement was in place. It's not going to do anything to hamper their nuclear capability. Man, I'm getting way too political here on this. But then you're also going to hurt your domestic oil supply. And I mean, they kind of already hampered U.S. oil supply. Anyways, we're energy independent. I don't know. The whole thing is just crazy. It's really hurting oil. I don't know, though. Analysts still seem supportive of oil, so it didn't have to be the end of the world. Okay, so you're losing money in Bitcoin. You're losing money in equities. Where do you run? Wait, how are those inflation hedges doing? Why don't we go to gold and silver? Oh, wait, gold is down too. Fuck, what the hell? Right? It is everywhere, man. Silver really down. And I mean, they retraced that whole. This whole move was like, this is good. CTAs might jump in. Maybe nope. What about? Oops, one more. Copper. What about copper? Nope, not copper. What about corn? Nope. What about soybeans? Nope. Freaking everything is down. Well, except for one thing, the dollar. The dollar's back up. They recovered their losses from yesterday in the dollar. I love it. Uzi, you hurt? We're openly shutting down. Have they been openly shutting down energy production? See, I don't know exactly what. I know that we were energy independent before, and now we're not, and I don't know why, and I don't know if it was. So you're saying that they like actively shut down certain plants for reasons, or what? I don't know. It sure seems like it's a dumb policy, though. I tell you that much, right? Lucas, suddenly everyone asks what scalping is about, right? Well, this could be, oh man, look at the treasury stuff. Wow. They are pushing that thing. We're getting the 6:30 news. Let's see here. Canadian inflation rate news. Must not be good. Wait. Come over here. Canadian CPI. Oh, what's the one that I want? Month over month inflation rate. Month over month. Where is it? Well, year over year was 3.4 versus expected 3.2. CPI month over month actual spot 5 versus a forecast spot 2. I'm surprised. Usually the Canadian news does not move us. Let's come back over here. Turn on text to speech. So again, going back to what I was saying earlier, I feel like I'm staring into the abyss and I'm like, should I be panicking? Or is this another by the dip? Like, But I think Lucas has the right idea. I think that we just scalp this. This is maybe we should dust off our account. I don't know. Because things are looking pretty ugly out there, and it's really like, well, so going back to the chart, another thing that I kind of have to point out that I kind of forgot here. It's in the E-mini. Remember, what was the big news? Inflation. CPI was really bad, and then we had like these 2 up days. Okay, kind of struggled beginning of the week, and then down Tuesday, and now further down. We're not to those lows from last week. Is this a dead cat bounce? I mean, it's kind of looking like it. By the way, double top 2 there. Probably some analysts will point that out. So for me over here, I think it turns into, could they possibly change anything for today's FOMC minutes? I think probably not. I remember, you just got to remember that the FOMC minutes are basically just, they've prepared and gone through the minutes from the last meeting. Sometimes it gives us some insights into what's going on in the meeting that we didn't get from the press conference and everything. But I think that the Federal Reserve has been pretty clear, and what we'll get from that is just more of the same. And so to really quell the concerns that they've got there, the Federal Reserve is going to have to be like, actually, inflation is high. Maybe we will increase rates, like, I don't know. Another thing that I wonder, though, is like, it really has been tech, right? Like this has been a trade. There's not like some big trigger event on this, but we do know that the hedge funds have been selling for weeks now, right? And I look at Tesla in particular, you know, and that whole thing, they've got $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is going down. And remember, we had this concern that like as soon as Tesla started doing that sort of thing, we're like, okay, so have we just opened up the larger system to risk from Bitcoin? Like, you know, and Bitcoin is down and everything else is down. And I don't think that that's a coincidence. I don't know if it's Bitcoin causing it per se. Probably unlikely that that's the case, and that it's more just like a complete breakdown globally that because of all of the money printing that we've done. But I don't know, man. It's different. Well, what we getting right now is different. I'll tell you that much. I don't know if it bounces, but this situation is not what we've been seeing lately, you know? What's Carl Quintilla tweeting here? The Bitcoin flow picture continues to deteriorate and is pointing to continued retrenchment by institutional investors. It is perhaps too early to characterize Bitcoin as oversold. For that, momentum signals would require a decline to 26K. Carl, you perked my interest. Would it be 26? Hold on a second. Let's see here. China, with the government reiterating that they cannot be used as a form of payment, prohibiting financial and payments institutions from pricing products or services with virtual currencies in China. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a little sus. I think that that's the reason that Bitcoin is coming down, because like they already knew that. Like they're just reiterating something that they've already said, you know? But when the market was already pretty tough, you know, okay, so my model says 14. Novograt says crypto this morning feels like capitulation. I do not believe that this is capitulation. I don't think that the big boys have even begun to sell. So happy that Bitcoin is down. Let's doom the market to its knees. I certainly feel vindicated to some extent, because remember, it was like 30K was like, well, no, it wasn't 30K, it was 20K, wasn't it? 20K, I was like, well, they look overbought. I don't know how far overbought they'll go, but it looks like it's overbought. I don't want to be in it anymore. And then they went to 30K and it was like, okay, 30, 35, 48, somewhere around there. Basically, when Michael Saylor was buying, that I was said, well, this is like the most overbought it's ever been. and it's probably going to crash. Like this has in the past meant, excuse me, in the past, this has meant crash imminent. And then Elon Musk came along and like saved it. It was like it was falling apart. And then Elon Musk started tweeting and they saved it, right? So now for it to come back to the point at where it was before Elon Musk tweeted and quote unquote saved the cryptocurrency market, I feel a little vindicated. Although for the model to really truly be vindicated, it would have to go down to 15K. So we'll see. The last year Bitcoin was trading at 45K and now we are at 38K. Wake me up when we are below 20. Yeah, it's a little crazy to think that it was 4K, right? That was, well, the funny thing is that low last year was like fair value. According to my model, it was for fair value. So good morning, Gus. We got everybody here this morning. Well, so the treasuries did move down on that Canadian CPI news. They're coming back up. There's maybe a little hint of flattening here in the curve, but I'm not seeing it move too much yet. Let's see here. Car Quintilla is just retweeting all of the Wall Street analysts. So Deutsche Bank, Bitcoin will continue to rise / fall depending on what people believe it is worth. This is the Tinkerbell effect. The more people believe in something, the likelier it is to happen. Based on Peter Pan's assertion that Tinkerbell exists because children believe she exists. Yeah. Pump harder. I'm going to buy ETH in at that point. I think that's the call. I think you're right, WineTube. If we have a complete collapse in the Bitcoin market and Bitcoin falls to 15K, you buy Ethereum. Yeah, because the market is realizing. I don't think that everybody realizes, but remember the whole theory on what's going on here is Elon Musk popped the bubble. It's just poetic irony that the man that has been at the center of the everything bubble would be the one to pop it, right? And what did he do? He came out and he pointed out all of the problems with Bitcoin that I've been coming on here on stream and, I guess preaching to the choir. Some of you guys like Bitcoin and some of you guys don't. So maybe it's not preaching to the choir, but I've never changed my opinion, right? I've been negative. I didn't participate on this. Probably should have. I didn't participate. I didn't like the trade. So he came in and he said all of the things that I've been saying. Well, not all, but some of them, right? It's damaging to the environment. It requires too much energy to transact. It's extremely inefficient, and it can't handle the number of transactions that are needed for an actual currency. They hobbled the coin. Now, Ethereum, the number 2 coin, is moving to proof of stake soon and does not have the energy inefficiency problem. My understanding is that it is very energy efficient, but the way that you make money is you already own a lot of Ethereum. Okay. I have problems with that. Okay. I don't think that. Do you really want the next world currency to be the person that owns the most money, gets the most of the newly issued currency, and has control of things? Like, nah. I don't think so. I don't think that proof of stake is the answer. I think that proof of stake is just another scam. It's not a scam, but it's another misinformed strategic decision by people that think the only thing that matters is how many people hold the coin. It's another scheme to try and get people to just buy and hold. Right? That's what it's all about for these Bitcoin guys, is trying to convince people to buy and hold it. By the way, it's dropping again. 37. The real irony is the guy who strip mines the planet to make electric cars that need to be charged with coal and natural gas saying that crypto is bad for the environment. Yeah. Well, have you seen all this stuff about Biden is driving around in an electric vehicle and he wants to be the electrical vehicle guy? And which, hey, like it's not a bad thing for people to be going into electrical vehicles. But the real problem, like honestly, if we're honest, if you want to solve this problem, you got to build more nuclear power plants. Until you build nuclear power plants, this is all just a wash. It doesn't matter. Anyways, so yeah, the market is definitely to the point where they are sick of Bitcoin's energy usage. So I think next cycle, more likely that Ethereum will flip, that the flipping will come. But that's not the end, because Ethereum has problems too. Can't handle the number of transactions. You've seen this thing on Cardano. Cardano is making it so that you can transfer your ERC20 tokens over to Cardano. So all of these, tokens that do special things that are on the Ethereum, you buy Ethereum and then you can go and buy these, and they're almost like securities to some extent, right? You can now move them over to Cardano, where you actually can transact. So I don't think that Ethereum is it either, unless they change things, unless they increase the block size and all that. And again, I'm just not. So is Cardano a proof of stake already? Oh my gosh. It already, yeah, Cardano is already proof of stake, it appears. But it has a unique system. Let's see here. The proof of stake system means that there's no mining with ADA coins awarded to truth attesters of any block in the blockchain. According to CoinDesk, it is an alternative way compared to proof of work cryptos like Bitcoin to maintain the integrity of a cryptocurrency. It allows blah, 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 blah. Doesn't say how it's unique. The key way that a proof of stake system like Cardano works is that certain validators put up a stake of their cryptocurrency to attest to the validity of a block in the chain. Through this staking system, validators earn a certain amount of the crypto as a reward. This apparently saves electricity. Okay, Cardano uses a proof of stake system called Ouroboros system. It rewards validators through a series of random and selected rewards. Right now, it is not clear, though reading the research, how much stake the validators of the block have to stake. For example, at Ethereum, the validators have to stake 32 Ether to become a validator. Well, so I don't know if that fixes the problem. Like the issue is that I think you can make a coin that, man, they're just getting creamed right now. And look, as they go down, the E-mini goes down. It's scaring me, guys. Save the manatees and build more nuclear power plants. They like warm waters. No, it's yeah. So let's talk about that. Are we done with it? The crypto. If on the next run, I think you want to buy coins like Ethereum and Cardano, coins that are more energy efficient. Another one that I would point out, something that uses mining, but it's designed in a way that more energy consumption doesn't increase the amount that you mine, is Grotessel coin. It's a different kind of proof of work system. There are those other ones like Ryblox and things like that, where there's no mining or whatsoever. It's just like everybody that uses it helps verify the system. Ultimately, I think, though, that the other issue with Bitcoin, Ethereum, aside, so is Ethereum still has the issue of can't handle the number of transactions. But then you come to error number 3, which is, it's not suitable as a basis for an economy because it's deflationary. So, but the market's going to ignore that. Now, on the other hand, the other thing you got to consider, though, is Tether, right? Because basically Tether only has 4% of its... Oh, man, I read this thing the other day that when you add up all of the paper that they have, that it's like something like 8% of the commercial paper market worldwide. It was like a respectable amount of commercial paper. I was like, oh, do you really think that they have all that? Like, who do they have it with? Where's this money held? It's a little scary. If Tether, if the full doomsday scenario with Tether comes out, yeah, Are we going to go back to 15K? Yeah, we'll go back to 15K. Maybe we'll bounce and then we'll go lower. Kind of like last cycle. It will be like, they'll fight and struggle, but it's just going to go. And you will have a really, truly, because I don't really feel like last cycle that they like truly collapsed. They never went back to the valuation levels that I was looking for, which was based on complete crash after Mt. Gox. But if Tether collapsed, that's what you could see. So you want to be careful with that. But if there is another crypto run, because it could be a really long time if there is a crash, and they might just leave it for that. Might just like there might be a point at which the crash was so bad that the world just gives up on cryptocurrencies, or it crashes and US makes a cryptocurrency. Okay, so they have broken a new low now and they're heading to 3,500. In which case, maybe you don't want to buy them. But if there is another crypto rally, I think you want to go with like Ethereum and Cardano, and that there's a good chance that there could be a flipping. I know I said that last time around, but it's still a possibility, just as much a possibility this time around as it was last time around. And I think it's even more so because of the fundamentals and people are going towards this proof of stake thing. Like more people are aware of it, right? Okay.
Winston's mom says, the other thing you want to consider is hitting the like button, if you haven't done this yet. Thanks, this helps the channel numbers and lets speculators know you all are out there.
Okay, so on the manatees. So have you seen this thing about Japan? So in Japan, that the Fukushima nuclear plant, there is a bunch of water that just seeps in through the soil and comes into the power plant and then is seeping out of the power plant. And so what they have been doing is they're gathering all of that water and they've been like cleaning it and filtering it. So there's a lot of particulates that they know are very damaging, like cesium and things like that. And they can actively filter those out. But what they can't filter out from the water is the radioactive water isotopes. Like, what is it? Tritium? I think. I forget which one it's called. It's not heavy water, but it's a water isotope. And so basically you can't filter it out. And so what they've been doing in Japan is they've just been filling up these tanks with this water. And they've been doing this ever since the Fukushima disaster, which that's been a long time. And they fill up like a whole water tank every day. And so the whole nuclear power plant is just become this wasteland of water jugs everywhere. Not jugs, but, water tanks everywhere. And it finally got to the point where they said, we can't continue doing this anymore. So here's the thing. The amount of nuclear isotopes in the water is not really significant. Like it's below levels that are considered like a problem and harmful. Okay, so they breached 35K. Man, this is getting ugly. And again, equity markets pushing down. The treasuries, they pushed down pretty hard after the Canadian CPI news, but now the treasuries appear to be moving up on flight to safety. Curious. Gold is bouncing, by the way. That's good. If gold could end up on the day, then maybe there's hope maybe there's hope that the world financial system isn't going to completely collapse. A little concerned when I see everything down, right? Anyways, so the amount of nuclear isotopes in the water is not really a big deal. But it is unnatural. There is more than there would be naturally, but it's not considered a significant amount, right? So they finally decided, screw it, it's safe, we're just going to dump it. And so China's really pissed about that because, it's going into the ocean and everything. It's just, you just got to realize that you could probably drink that water from the tank and be fine. I mean, the amount that it would increase your chances of getting cancer are pretty low, is my understanding. So there's this thing going around, and then everybody's like, well, we shouldn't do nuclear because it's too dangerous. Liberals don't want to do nuclear. Look at them chomping at the bit, going 2 ticks at a time. What? We should be along. Well, I don't see a mispricing, so that's why I'm not doing it. I got everything ready. If they give me one, well, okay, fine. If they give me one. So, but really, what you got to do is just use new designs. There are new nuclear power plant designs. Man, if we continued to develop nuclear power since the 70s, oh man, think about where we could be now. All this stuff about energy, and it wouldn't even be a big deal because we would just be building new nuclear power plants. And there's this technology that's making them smaller and cheaper to build, more efficient. How low can Bitcoin fall? Well, so people were really eyeing that 3,500 level. All right, they are just blowing right through it, man. They're just blowing right through it. So here's the thing: anybody that tells you they know exactly what price it's going to go to and you should buy it at is full of shit, to be frank with you. Okay. All of these patterns and support and resistance, like the issue is that a large degree of the cryptocurrency market action is based on ideas that are probably false. We haven't proven the null hypothesis wrong, but the null hypothesis is that technical analysis doesn't work. I can't prove empirically that it doesn't work, but I also cannot prove empirically that it does work. That's generally speaking, it doesn't. So yeah, everybody points to these levels and everything. But what we can do is we can look at key levels from before, right? So 35 was around where Michael Saylor and others bought in at. So below 30,000, you have guys that have levered up on debt. I could do it again at 115. I'm not going to. They have levered up on debt, are underwater. Okay, that matters. It does matter. It doesn't mean that it's going to bounce there or that it's going to continue down through. It just means that price matters. Okay. Then there's 20,000. 20,000 was like the original breakout. Man, if they get to 20,000, then it's really like, whoo. I don't know if they would be able to do that in one day, but this, I would expect, well, so let's go and do a little bit of numbers here. Okay. So, actually, let's say the top was 60K. Oops, that's not what we want. $12. So a full, yeah. So my model, I would just tell you, normally I don't do this because it's like, you're supposed to pay for the Patreon, right? But I think that, well, I don't know. It's kind of too late. Like it should be, the Patreon should be the most popular at the top of the cycle, and it should be telling everybody to get out. But then it's like nobody wants to do that because it tells you that it's up too much. But I'm gonna tell you, you go and you push my Patreon, okay? Patreon.com/SpeculatorSeth. I post these charts every day. I will show you the chart, okay? I will show you the chart. Documents. Where is it? It's kind of buried in there deep. There we go. Okay, there's the chart. Okay, that does not look good. Do you see how it goes? Hold on a second. Let me pull up my pen here. Oh, there it is. Okay. You see, so the way that this works is the higher this blue line is, the more overbought we are, essentially. So when you come down into, I need a different color. When you come down into this lower bound area, that's like oversold. It seems to bounce off of this area because of mining activity. And it seems to me that the more mining activity there is, the higher this lower bound is, okay? When it spikes up like this, the only times in the past that has happened is because of fraud. That was Mount Gox. This right here, Mount Gox. Mount Gox, okay? And this right here was a 2017 move. We believe, or I believe rather, that this was caused by Tether. So this is the Tether bubble, okay? And then in 2019, we had another bubble, right? In 2019, we had another bubble that I called almost to the day. That was the one I was like, man, I need to trust the model more because it was right almost to the day about when you should have sold. Crazy. And now we've had this bubble. Now this bubble has been unique, isn't it? Because it's not just like one peak and then back down. And this is where I was saying right here was where I said, okay, it's over. We're going to crash. And then Elon Musk came in and saved it. Elon Musk came in and saved it. And so now you end up with like double peaks. But eventually it is coming back. It is eventually coming back. Boom. How long before Robinhood outages? Oh man, you're right, Uzi. It's probably coming. You could probably bet money on. We should make a futures contract on whether or not Robinhood will go down so that people can hedge their Robinhood portfolios. This is actually a serious idea. I'm laughing about it because it's so ridiculous. But you know what? We could create a derivatives contract on whether Robinhood or other exchanges are going to go down so that people could hedge exchange availability outages. This is a good idea. I don't know how exactly you would do it. How would you form a derivative contract of that nature? But this is a good idea. We should look into this more. If you guys know anything, maybe it would have to be insurance, right? Exchange outage insurance contracts. I'm liking this idea. If you know anybody that has expertise in this area can help us set it up, I want to do this. Man, I don't know. Okay, anyways. So yeah, it's stayed up there. This run has been unique because of Elon Musk, but yeah, it doesn't look good, right? Because when you get a spike and it starts coming down like that, what happens? What are these? These are the 80% declines, the crashes. So 80% decline in Bitcoin right now from 60K would put us at 12. My model says that the lower bound, where you get to where we're like oversold, you know, this bottom line down in here, it's about, you know, where we get to there, it's about 12K, 12 to 15K. So that's what I'm seeing. Now, just realize it's just a model, right? A model is not completely accurate to the real world because we can only model things. And I do believe that my model is better than other models that I've seen out there, like stock to flow. My model factors in many of the same things that stock to flow does, but it also factors in people interacting on the blockchain and moving money in and out. So the more money that's moving in and out, the higher they can go. But there's a limit to that, right? And you can see that they every time they reach that limit and then they get hit. So that's also why I'm so negative on Bitcoin, because of the inability to do transactions. Because if they had increased the block size, they would have been able to go higher. They straight up, they would have been able to go higher because people wouldn't be stuck trying to move their coin. And that risk alone is like a big problem. You're going to invest in Bitcoin, right? I would love to buy Bitcoin at that price range. I'll patiently wait. Yeah. Well, so here's the thing, Jen. Here's what I would keep in mind. If we see an 80% decline in Bitcoin, it is unlikely that it is going to immediately pop right back up, right? So if price comes back down to here, it's not going to go right back up to here and have a V-shaped recovery. At least that's not what has happened in the past, right? Probably what will happen is, like last time, we'll come down to that level and there will be a little bit of a bounce. And then something like this. And then it'll stay like that until like the next halving or whatever. We'll see. And again, there is a risk that Bitcoin may not go again. There is a risk that enough people are concerned about the energy consumption usage of Bitcoin that they're not going to invest in it in the same way as last time. And there's a risk that so many people have been burned by it that they don't want to get into it again. You know, that sort of a thing. So if we get the 80% decline, probably you have plenty of time to buy it, to wait and see what happens, right? That's where the patience comes in, right? You got to keep following it. And yeah, I think the mistake I made this last time around was like, because I saw that it was still overvalued because of Tether, I just like gave up on the whole cryptocurrency market. And so I didn't keep up on like which coins were taking off and what they were about and stuff, like Cardano and stuff like that. True, and perhaps Cardano will be a good choice. Yeah, I think so. I would probably split it up. I would probably, you know, a little Cardano, a little bit of Ethereum. I still think that what is it? XMR. What is that one? What is it called? No, oh yeah, Monero XMR. That one's good, but that's a different thing. That's not what I meant. It's XRP. Sorry, XRP. Ripple. There you go. That's what it's called. I think that Ripple is one to keep an eye on too. Cardano is the one that IBM is involved with, right? So Cardano, Ripple, probably Ethereum to some extent. Garlic coin, obviously. No, just kidding. You know what's so annoying about this? Is when you talk about shit coins, the whole idea of you get in a shit coin and you just hold it for a really long time, it can work. It worked with Dogecoin, but it seems like that the majority of the shit coins that take off are brand new ones. So, and I think that the reason that shit coins take off is because people pay influencers and they're setting up pump and dump schemes. And so it doesn't make as much sense to pump and dump a cryptocurrency that has been around for a long time, right? Because you can just create your own coin and own 50% of it, pump it up, and then dump it all on everybody. Man, they really blew through 3,500 there in Bitcoin, didn't they? That was really something else. Now the treasuries are coming back. By the way, where did I take my scalps in the treasury? I only took it once, right? Yeah, I only took it once. 10.5. Oh, I did it at 10.5? Wow, what? Man, I did not even pay attention there, man. Yeah, I'm not going to explain what I did there. You can go back and watch it. It's my favorite trade. If the treasuries are moving, it works. If the treasuries are moving. All my friends hold Cardano and are telling me they will make a killing, literally everyone, and then they even encourage some random girls to buy it. Yeah, so true. And people want to get rich fast. Yeah. I always bust into investments full tilt when random girls buy in. Totally. But man, I tell you what, this whole thing about, you know, when the larger public gets involved, oh, Bitcoin, oh my, look at this. It drops, the E-mini drops. You're seeing this, right? I do not like that. this equity Bitcoin correlation scares me a little bit. No, this whole thing about like when the larger public gets involved in something, it tends to mark tops. There is definitely something to that, man. I used to think, well, nothing that obvious could really, truly, but I've since realized that the problem isn't that it's not obvious. Like the problem with bubbles is not that nobody in the bubble realizes that they're in a bubble. Of course, there's a lot of lay people that are really, truly regular, average people. And I guess I just cannot imagine what being a regular, average person is. And it's not because I'm so smart or anything like that, but it's just that the regular, average person does not care about finance at all, right? And so it's very hard for me, where I spend practically all of my time thinking about finance and markets, and then you have somebody that has literally never given a thought about it in their entire life. How to think about what they think and how they think and their perspective and stuff like that, right? So it's hard. That's hard. But I think that even a lot of those people in this market, like GameStop, everybody knew that when GameStop was taking off, that like, this is crazy. We all knew, and they still bought. The problem isn't that people don't realize they're in a bubble. The problem is that they buy anyways. And you have no clue where it's going to stop. That's the problem. You have no clue where it's going to stop. And so people still have this incentive to keep getting in. And then as soon as the momentum flips on them, then they all want to get out at the same time. So what do? Just get out early, I say. You just get out early. Man, so here they're heading for 30,000. Oh, you know what? I never turned on my robots. I should turn on some of these robots. Some of these I should turn on because I do want to see how he does. I did, what was funny was I have this one robot where it was like, it's designed to trade a certain way. And there's a big flaw with how it trades, but overall it should do well. So I go in and I set it up with that flaw on live trading. And it's like, it seems like it's not doing well. I'm like, well, there's some weird things about the market that would maybe hurt it. So let's try setting up an algo that trades the opposite of it to see if maybe there was something about my back test that was wrong or something like that. But then I did it yesterday, and the original version of the algo did quite well. So I was like, what? It was kind of funny. And then it did set up Ace. I did set up Robot Ace again just because you guys busting my balls on Monday really got to me. I was like, I'm prove it to you. There's issues with it, man. But I think I made a better version of Ace actually. Had flash crashes, but prices were always bouncy. Maybe it will be the big one now. The way that they moved through 3,500 really makes me think, yeah, this must be the big one. This must be the 80%. And just realize Bitcoin has had 80% crashes frequently in the past. This is in the history, and an 80% decline from 60K is like 12K, okay? Which would return it back to where it was before this whole insanity started. Okay, so Bitcoin's backing off a little bit. You can see the E-mini backing off a little bit. They did make a new low in the E-mini there, though. The treasuries moved back up to the highs. We could maybe sell right there. It's a little tepid. Because I know that you see it right there. Okay, so of course they're going to sell 16, but I don't know if you'd get filled at 15 halves. So that's not going to do it. And when the E-mini starts up, I'll probably try and take some trades over here. But I think that today we should go back to what we're doing. I'll start serious, but yes, I'm going to do 16 tickers, and I want to catch a few first before I start trying to get things to run. unless it opens up and it's like a straight up buy the dip, revert back to, close the gap sort of a trade. So I do have some evidence to suggest that close the gap is a good trade if you know what's happening. Jen with all of the frowny faces. Oh, you know what we need? You know what we need is all of you guys that $1 subscribers. $1 subscribers, you need to be using your subscription and be using the rainbow bear. There you go. There's a rainbow bear. Every time you see what it should be doing is like when Bitcoin goes down, I should see like a flood of rainbow bears going through the screen. Rip Ethereum and rip Dodge. This is not the first person that has come in and said that. Is that like a copy pasta that people are pushing around? I don't know. We have a lot of people viewing today, but like 40 people for 7:15. Usually we get around 30 to 40 people, but maybe after the market opens. So to be there 15 minutes before the market opens, people are definitely watching this Bitcoin thing and freaking out. Good morning, Bill. How are you? Uh-oh. Binance, Ethereum, and ERC20 withdrawals are temporarily disabled due to network congestion. Binance saying that. Due to network congestion. So what they're saying is that the Ethereum network is so congested that they're just not even going to let you try and make a transaction because they know that it won't go through and they don't want you to lose your money. Because in Ethereum, you can just lose your gas, right? Boy, that sucks. Forex Live says it looks like the low print on Bitcoin was exactly 30,000. Yeah, on the futures, they didn't touch it, but it was awfully close. And I'm sure on some exchanges they did. Doing great. Glad I didn't buy Bitcoin at the high price. Full disclosure, I didn't buy any. Good job, Bill. I'm proud of you. You know what, Bill? Can I just say, I've been frustrated a little bit. I'm sitting here. I'm like, what do I have to do? How do I convince people? Like, there's these things that people believe about trading that aren't true. There are things that people believe about markets that aren't true. You can't just go and buy something and pump it up and then make money off of that because your executions have impact and there's a sign change loss. So if you just buy it up and then you immediately turn around and sell it, the market's actually going to move lower and you're going to lose money. You're going to lose money because of the inefficiency of the order book and the sign change. And I know it's like a complicated subject, but like so many people ignore it, right? Or then I go in and I'm like, because your executions have impact, any technical signal that you see out there that's like popular and widely followed, people are going to trade off of it and it's not going to exist anymore. In fact, it's probably going to lose you money and it just turns random, you know? So all these things like moving averages and RSIs and stuff, you're not likely to make money off of them. Probably you're going to make money off of them in this most recent bull market. Yes, because everybody makes money, but over the long term, there's big problems with them, right? And you're going to have some sort of greater edge. You're going to have to be taking advantage of some sort of inefficiency in the market. Like I try to take advantage of inefficiencies in the order book. Or price inefficiencies where I know that something is not being valued correctly, or news inefficiencies in particular, where I know that the impact of the news is so great that they can't factor it in fast enough, right? That's if you're going to trade, that's what you got to do. You've got to find a real inefficiency. You can't just look at the chart and try and do what everybody else is doing. You do what everybody else is doing, you can lose money. And I'm sitting here trying to do like more, like I've been getting into Markov models. I haven't written something yet, but I've been reading a lot about them. I feel like I understand it a little bit better. I've kind of looked at some code, I'm thinking about how I want to do it, if I want to write the algorithms myself or if I want to use a library. I'm kind of inclined, I think that in the long run, I probably would be better to use a library that has a lot of these sorts of things built into it. I found a library for C#, so maybe it's good. I'm getting into that. I'm getting into treasury pricing models, which is like, there's like tons of big books on this stuff. It's really esoteric stuff. I gotta tell you, it's really boring stuff. Okay. I'm working on this. And then I got some people over here still interested in moving averages in RSI. I'm like, guys, like, come on. What? Okay. It frustrates the hell out of me because I want to move forward. I want to do like new, cool, cutting edge things. And it's hard to do it all by yourself, you know? And I want, you know, more people doing it with me. And you're not coming along. You're not coming along, guys. So when I come in and I can see, okay, I'm glad I didn't buy Bitcoin at the high price, like Bill said, and Ace said that too. But of course, Ace was never going to do that. But that's a little encouraging to me because it's like, okay, maybe what I'm doing is helping a little bit. You know what I mean? You need hands. You're learning Pines. Oh, you know what, Gus? So the cool thing about PineScript is that you can go and you can put this indicator out there and like everybody can look at it and use it. And that's cool. But I don't trust their backtester. I've seen a couple of backtests, I've compared backtests between that and NinjaTrader 8. And it's not that their backtest is like straight up wrong. It's just that like you don't seem to have quite as much control over how it behaves. There's some issues with it. So I don't know. Like here's the larger issue is that again, these like technical analysis sorts of things tend not to work. You can set up a market model system where you're using a bunch of indicators, and yeah, a moving average could be part of a successful system for sure. But like this indicator soup that we often try to do, and like what has been a lot of my strategies, those tend not to work. But something that does work, or you know, I'm not going to say does work because you might not be able to take advantage of it, but like look at what the banks do. Just think for a second, what do the banks do? They make money off of the spread and they make money off of price discrepancies. So they're like doing arbitrage. So how do you do arbitrage? Well, you're going to have to look at a bunch of different things at the same time, right? And this is hard. Okay. Managing multiple data series at the same time in one strategy, there's some weird stuff that you get with that about like which one has the data come in first and how are they synced together and that sort of a thing, right? And in NinjaTrader, they have an okay system for that and it works, but I don't think that you do very good for that in TradingView. And so that's kind of why I've always been a little wary about it. So there you have it. From all the backtesting systems, well, so I've done that, and I've done NinjaTrader. I've investigated a lot of systems, but haven't used them myself. I don't think there's a perfect system. The issue that I have right now is what I would like to see is a system that is built into a futures trading platform and uses Rhythmic and CQG data, because that's one of the problems on some of these other ends is that they, you know, like all of these Python scripts and stuff, and you're connecting to these APIs, like there's an issue with that on speed and stuff. But I would like to see a futures trading platform that uses Rhythmic CQG data, has a backtester built into it like NinjaTrader does, but it's a Python-based one. Or like there's multiple ways of plugging it in. Like you can program it in C# or Python or R. You know? Yeah, come for the learning, save for the shop talk. I should warn you that this stream is kind of designed to be a little bit more entertainment. There's kind of these, I don't know, it's kind of this dichotomy here. There's like, I want to teach you certain things, but I can't teach you everything. And so really I have to try and make the stream entertaining. But then we also talk about politics and things, and some people don't want to listen to that and they don't find politics entertaining. So it's tough. Okay, so it looks like that for now, Bitcoin bounced really hard off of 30,000. Because that was such a round number, I'm going to bet that a lot of cryptocurrency analysts are going to see that as a support zone. So what we may see is that's the low of the day for now, and it comes by, and then maybe later they dump, get beyond it. The 80% decline doesn't have to happen all in one day. Forex Live says drops in crypto tied to outages tend to bounce aggressively. That could be. Oh man, Anthony's saying I've owned gold through the stock market crashes. Now though, this crypto crash, don't let anyone tell you gold is a hedge, because having personally owned gold in these situations is just not the case. Own gold because you want to. Don't pretend to yourself that it's a hedge. Okay, yes. But gold completely recovered, by the way. So why not Sierra? I think that Sierra is okay. So the issue with Sierra is that because it's C++, and not just because of it's C++, but also because of some decisions that they made on the back end, you end up having to do a lot of stuff yourself. And so it's not very effective for development for that reason. Right? Like, especially if we want to get into machine learning and stuff, it's going to be kind of hard to do with C++. 2 rules for everything in life. Don't tell anyone everything you know. Number 2, see rule number 1. Well, I don't think that that's always true. In most situations, it's beneficial to, explain things to everyone. But when it's a competitive intellectual market like the stock market is, you don't want to give away everything. This is the thing. You should be really careful about the person that seems to be telling you everything, because there's like one of 3 possibilities. One is that they're giving you all this stuff because they did make money off of it at one time and it worked really well, and it's not working so well anymore. So now they've moved over into education. That happens a lot. Understand, that happens a lot. Okay. And it's not necessarily a knock on the people that do that, but it happens a lot. Okay. You have an edge and that edge disappeared. And so then you turn around and you sell it to people. Okay. Which I think is okay. Like the order book. Okay. Like our order book is a good example here, where people in the 90s, they made hella money off of order book, just trading the DOM, and then the robots came in and took it over from them. So you can turn around and you can teach retail traders how to read the order book and how to read the order flow. It's still helpful to them. It's just you're probably not going to make money on just that, right? Okay. That's situation number 1. But the other one is that they're sharing all of that information because they just discovered something, but they don't know enough to understand the competitive nature of markets, and they don't understand that they're basically cannibalizing their own strategy by doing that, right? So essentially, when you see somebody sharing that information, it's a dead giveaway that they don't actually know that much. because anybody that really knows what they're talking about, that is like an industry professional, understands the science of market impact and is therefore careful about what information they share, because they don't want to create an inefficiency in the market that will hurt their trade. Yeah. Said there was 3 reasons. I don't remember the third one.
Kevin Wimmer says there are only 2 rules to life. Stocks are for pussies. Second, always double down on losers and martingale the shit out of it. 100% guarantee margin call.
I'm sure that somebody was getting margin called through that cryptocurrency dump, man. It is a pretty epic crash in the cryptocurrencies, isn't it? I think that the worst may be over, but I should never speak. Okay, JP Morgan, our current fair value for Bitcoin based on a volatility ratio of Bitcoin to gold of around X4 would be 35K. Oh, I know what I was thinking about. I was thinking about replying to Anthony. Okay, so here's the open in the E-mini. Initial move is down. I am going to take one right there. Well, I had a good entry, but it didn't follow through, so I'm going to bail. Bum, 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 ba-dum.
Winston's mom says 1 minute to market open. Gabi, put down the strudel and go to work, schnell. Boris, no Hassenpfeffer for now, danke.
You know, Gabby didn't take any trades yesterday. We didn't actually have that many slips during the regular session. It was kind of funny. Okay, there it is right there. Crap. All right. Cool. Well, so it looks to me like the cumulative delta is pushing for long, but it's quite a battle over here in the E-mini, isn't it? I don't know. So kind of what we're doing here is a little bit of gambling, right? So you're going to get a lot of really all over the place action, right? Coinbase falls 12% at the open to 210. Wow. Tesla falls 5.2% at the open to touch the lowest since March 5th. Whew. Reminder, Tesla gave itself the option to refund or buy back cars in dollars or Bitcoin at our sole and absolute discretion for those who paid in Bitcoin. Yeah, okay. Rich Wendy wins. Hey, good morning. We are getting new people because of the title, it looks like. Come on, come through. That's looking a little bit better. I probably shouldn't have bailed on that first one, but I think it's okay. It's okay. Now on this side, I think I can let it ride a little bit. So I'm gonna remember, for something to make a good currency, it must be durable. Plenty of people forget their passcodes and that crypto is lost forever. Also, the Fed has confiscated a lot from criminals. Yeah, so I do not believe, like, I'm not saying that cryptocurrency technology, that blockchain technology is useless. No, I think blockchain is amazing, and it's going to make a big difference in a lot of financial applications. But the idea of Bitcoin itself, and this idea that it's going to replace the dollar someday, is patently ridiculous. It's not just like, I don't think it's going to happen because the powers that be won't let it. It's technologically, with the way that Bitcoin functions today, it's technologically impossible for it to do what they want it to do. Cannot handle that many transactions. We cannot handle the energy consumption of it. Okay, I've got to, oh my gosh, that was a strong move. There's a little bit of distribution there, but that looks like something that keeps you out. The title is insane. Oh, thank you. Maybe we should change it. Bitcoin plunges below 40K. Maybe we should say Bitcoin plunges to 30K. That will be, is that even more attention grabbing? You know, like, Kevin's got it figured out. I just can't resist reading out the China
Winner says,
one.
I know, right? How could it possibly replace the dollar if we have far superior coins like Garlic Coin or Doge? Ridiculous. It's
ridiculous. Why isn't everybody just piling into the Garlic Coin, guys? I'll tell you why. Because I own it. That's why what it is. The Illuminati, they were like, okay, what are we going to pump today? How about Garlic Coin? I think that one was one that was pretty good, and we could bump it up, and then somebody else got, oh, no, we can't do. Remember, Speculator Seth is in that one, so we can't pump that one. That's what happened. The title is important. Yeah, okay. Bitcoin plunges to 40K, to 30K. 30K. $30K. Okay, so they coming back. Ouch. Ouches. I should have taken it. No. You know what we do here? We, too late. I missed it. Is it going to be a quick move back up? So there's an awful lot of price volatility, which is kind of good for us, but it's kind of bad, right? Makes it difficult. So something you got to remember when moves get volatile like this is the effect that it has on the order book kind of means that you can't necessarily trade it with as many contracts. Like, if we had a really solid edge that there was a mispricing here, you know, maybe normally we would be able to trade like 100 contracts. But in this situation, and not just because of the risk, but because of what the market can handle, you wouldn't be able to trade as many contracts. You need to be like 13 market moves. Once it's down, you make miraculous announcement, dollar, big surprise after the fact. I get what you're saying. You and me and the other 40 people on this stream should pump a penny. Now, I will not be involved in pump and dump schemes, but I will tell you, I own a substantial amount of Garlic Coin. I hesitant to tell you how much, but I own a pretty solid amount. And you know what? It's been doing pretty good. Garlic Coin's been doing pretty good. Ah, man. Okay, so I'm going to hold on here. I'm going to take my licks if it does it. See, I would like to add here, but I don't feel like I should take on that much risk, and we got to be careful because of the volatility. Seth equals market maker and garlic coin confirmed. I mind it, but yeah, I have a ton of it. So if you want me to promote a shit coin, it's totally garlic coin, man. Yeah, corner the market for Seth. Well, so here's the thing with garlic coin. There are only 69 million coins that will ever be in existence, and like 80% of them have already mined out. So the supply over there there's not much supply. And the people that do own coins it seems like a very dedicated community. So they have 100,000 subscribers to the subreddit. It's way more than many other shitcoins that have been doing better. That's the thing that's crazy about it. It has a good community. I just don't think that they ever got the the manipulator that wanted to come in and pump and dump it on everybody sort of a thing. But probably it doesn't need it just because of the supply constraints and everything else like that. It's been doing well. And even through these declines in Bitcoin, the garlic coin will decline in dollars price, but it doesn't decline so much in Bitcoin price. So I very much like it. If this is like a full-on market crash in cryptocurrency, then hey, maybe garlic coin doesn't take off until next round. Like maybe it sticks around 10 cents, maybe between 5 and 10 cents, and then next time around they can pump up and they'll finally get back up to $1, and really, if garlic coin ever truly took off, it could be worth $100. Like if it reached the same market cap as Dogecoin, it would be worth $100. Yeah, I'm seeing the short-term bounces kinds of stuff in here, but it's not really going. There's a lot of volume there, and there are some shoving. Oh, they want me so bad. They want me so bad. Come on. Oh, no. Oh. I'll do it again. Let's see here. Ouch. Okay. Might be a little too early on that one. Because I kind of see like the aggressive selling and the book holding, but I'm not seeing the responsive buying. Yeah, okay. We should we should bring the Bitcoin back up here. Okay, Bitcoin is still recovering, even though the E-mini is selling off, okay. What else are we seeing? Oh, gold is taking off. Dollar is falling back down. Well, I don't know. We are going to have to, this kind of crazy action, I can take it again. Oh, I can definitely take it again, especially since I did get some good excursion on that first one. So let's try doing it like this. Oh, that's really strong. Okay, so they're going to try and make it back up to the open at least. That's seems to be the target for now. Yeah, you see those skips. And you're not even seeing the cumulative delta come in long yet either. That's very curious. That's very curious to me. Okay. Well, that one more than made up for the 2 or 3 that didn't work out, huh? So let's do some management here. We don't want to have all that. We'll move these to break even. Oh, okay. So I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, I could take profits on another contract, but when it's doing that and they're that close to the high, they got some more delta to come out too. A month ago, Jack Dorsey tweeted that Bitcoin incentivizes renewable energy, and then Elon replied true, and now he's doing shit to BTC. Oh, I did not catch that. Did Coinbase crash? Wait. Sorry, I haven't been. I have the Twitter up. Oh, we are having connection issues. There we go. Okay, they stopped just short. There's a little excursion down. They stopped just short of the new high. It's still looking pretty furious. Okay, just note that the delta did not reach a new high, but you got to be careful because there's like a big meta order short that was for sure a thing, and then a smaller meta order long could still equal that. Remember that once the order book has been disrupted, that when you tread back over that area, you could move higher even though there's not as much volume on it. That is the sign change effect. Doesn't mean that it will do it, because it still kind of depends on if people are buying or selling. But we may be able to. Okay. We'll try it. Oh, come on. I'm so tempted to move that stop, but I'm gonna try and be disciplined here. I could lose it, but buy in at a different spot. It's fine. Wait, what? Biden says he expected to see significant de-escalation in violence today. Don't know if that means that they made some agreement with the Israelis or what. Guru Leaks tweets Coinbase users are not happy today. Yeah, I would think not. See, that's where I should have bought it right there, man. Batch. Okay, it's okay. So we baked so much profit into that we can, we can kind of, what is the word? We can campaign it around a little bit. Coinbase is down 10% in the last 24 hours. Oh, I mean, I'm not even going to bother pulling up the my stocks stuff, but I'm sure that they are getting absolutely decimated here. Okay. Yeah, we can deal with that. That'd be fine. Well, you do get good runs when it gets going, but like that was a pretty positive looking buy there, and it didn't really can follow through. Okay, so that was a vacuum. Oh, curious. Very curious. Okay, large order at 40.65. Is that? Oh, that's been there for a while, actually. Okay. So I was just noticing that we made a push to the open and a little bit above, and they fell back as in a vacuum. And then when they started pushing back up again, there was more offers placed on it. But they've pushed through those offers anyways. So that was kind of a curious move. The way that all played out. Okay, there we go. Good deal. Look at that. So, if you're new here, I want to explain something. Did I know that it was going to move up there? I don't think I really did. I mean, in my mind, I think they're going to bounce. Like, they're oversold and they're going to try and fill the gap. And the markets may be overreacting. There's no like clear reason for it to be moving down. And if it's just like some hedge funds sold and maybe they're done selling all that they had to sell and it could recover, that's kind of the bet that I'm making. But I don't really know what's going to happen. But what did I do instead? Is I'm playing with the risk. I take a big risk at the beginning with a situation where I have a pretty good chance of there being some degree of noise that allows me to get a good 16 tick winner, right? And then I can take those off. And then if it comes back, I can just add it back on because I'm only going back to the amount of risk that I had originally. And as you do that, you bake in all of this profit. So now like it allows me, and we need to take these off. That allows me to take on more risk, right? So now in order for them to like truly stop me out, they're going to have to go to the low of the day. And there's already like a pivot above that, right? So is there like some crazy, like am I predicting patterns? I mean, I'm trying to, but I wouldn't say that I actually am. Where the edge is coming from is in managing the trade, right? And managing the risk of it. And we're able to do that because we know we're in a situation where if it does go, you're probably going to be able to catch a pretty big winner. So I want to make that clear because I always kind of talk like, like this technical analysis stuff, it doesn't really work. And that's what you got to understand is that a lot of this stuff is random, but you can manage your risk in certain ways and catch big winners from time to time. You're going to have more than just that because you can't get a trade like that every day, right? But in certain situations, it's worth playing it. Decide what you think is going to happen and just play the risks. Oh, so we should pull this back up. So Bitcoin is still... Actually, I'll move Bitcoin over there like that. There we go. That's better. I was thinking about when they came back to my entry, adding another contract again, but I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with it right now. Questions: why commodities, corn, soybeans, Bitcoin cracking, euro going up? I guess dollar getting weaker, but is there another reason? Maybe a war on the planet? Well, I don't see anything like that, but I do think that there is like I think that one of the interplays that you could get here that would be really confusing and difficult to trade is that by the point that the market is actually concerned about inflation is the point at which all of these assets that have been benefiting from inflation in the recent past are already topping. You get what I mean? So it's like soybeans and corn and those commodities in particular. So I think it's really key that you picked up on those specific commodities, right? Those commodities in particular have been running like crazy. Lumber too. Lumber is really the best. This is the biggest one, right? Maybe the market already priced the inflation in. And so it is now that the market is accepting that there is higher inflation than we anticipated, then it turns into a buy the rumor, sell the news sort of a situation, right? Which is just ends up being so ironic, right? Because just at the point at which investors are concerned about inflation and are looking for inflationary hedges, they're not able to find anywhere that they can actually do it. Although we should note that gold is just taken off. Gold is now at its highest for this session. So they retraced that entire bear move and they're doing great. And silver as well. And we'll see if they continue through. Another thing that we should keep in mind is that there's these issues like the rates, right? So as the rate goes down, concerns about inflation could cause rates to go down, right? But then, so you get this situation where the rate going down matters more than the people buying gold to hedge, right? And so it could be that gold overall will move up in the long run, but that off of certain individual moves when things are getting crazy, it may not go the way that you want. Do you get what I mean? So it's looking right now like what gold is doing is overall it's moving up, but every time that there is like the inflation scare, gold goes down because the treasury yields are increasing. And so then they have to wait for the treasury yield to back off and then gold takes off again. Will the market also crash? Well, I don't know. Again, like I kind of look at this thing and I see a lot of things that kind of scare me. So far today, though, it's kind of like all is right in the world. They're trying to buy the dip, right? Camera trader talk. Now I see somebody in here that was saying, enjoy being poor Bitcoin holders, and Harsh Sharma saying, fuck you, Timothy. Listen, I don't mean anything personal or any disrespect to anybody that holds Bitcoin. And it's like, I feel bad if you're losing money off of it. But me personally, I very much enjoy watching it go down. Yes, I do. And it's not like I've been saying this whole year. I don't like it's in a bubble. And then it goes higher and you're like, oh, you're wrong, Seth. And then something like this happens. Vindication, a little bit. You know what though? Here's the thing with the cryptocurrency market is vindication. Vindication is not enough. It will want retribution. And there's been a little bit of retribution today. That move from 35 to 30 was a little bit of retribution, but I think that they're going to have to back off a little bit, and then maybe we'll see another day if they go lower. Because like seriously, like let's say that 30,000 is the low today, which is very, very possible. I mean, at the moment, it's looking really good that that's the low of the day, right? Very possible. That could just be, order book recovers, market recovers, and then another sell comes through. And then if they breach 30,000 next time, then, oh my gosh, there's going to be some real pukes. And there's also going to be like, I remember saying that, there was kind of that move back up to 50K or whatever, 55K. And I said, this is the, return to normal kind of trade just before things like really fall apart. And this does really look like things really falling apart. But even during things really falling apart, there's going to be like those short-term rallies, right? 30K it is, just get some orders positioning. So Crypto Man, and I explained this a little bit earlier, but I'll explain it again. You don't really want to think that way, because I kind of get where you're coming from. And this is a belief that cryptocurrency holders have that is wrong. The market doesn't work that way. So you want to come in and you want to say, well, we should all buy it at 30K and that will hold the price. Okay, so it's true. If everybody comes in and buys at 30K, the price will move up, because generally market orders move markets, and there's more market buys and market sells, then the market is generally going to tend to move up because orders have impact. But the issue here is that it's very difficult to make money just from your impact. And the reason for that is because not only do orders have impact, your buy orders are going to have impact, but when people try and take profits off of that trade, that's also going to have impact. And there is a sign change, which means that if we all bought it at 30K and it moves up to 40K, okay, and then a large meta order of equal magnitude comes in and sells it at 40K again, that large meta order is going to push it below 30K because of the sign change. The order book will be weak through that area, and it will allow them to push the market further with less orders. So that kind of a trade is very risky and very dangerous, and I would not recommend, right? So if you're going to make a trade like that, what should you really be trading off of? You should really be trading off of an actual real inefficiency in the market that okay? Whether it's a relative price discrepancy between two assets, like maybe your Ethereum is undervalued compared to Bitcoin, and so you can see that Bitcoin moved up, so you buy Ethereum so that it moves up, right? That would be a market inefficiency that you could take advantage of, right? Or there's inefficiencies in the order book that we try and take advantage of, because order books are just not perfect technology. There's inefficiencies with using an order book, right? News, there could be a piece of news that comes out that really affects that market that the market hasn't accurately priced in yet. It's all that. So yeah, and cryptocurrency people don't want to try and play it that way. They're in it because they think that they can game the system. You just got to realize that because of the way that the order book is set up, you can't really game the system. Like, you can get away with it for a while, but eventually it has to come back. And that's what you're seeing happen today in Bitcoin. Okay, so they're pushing it back down to a pretty low spot. We'll see if they go for new lows. They could. So order book first in gets out first. It could be. Well, I think what I should do here is get out of that. Take what I made. Man, I really think it's so funny. Like, I got such a big one. I baked in a lot of profit. But this is what happens is here again, like if it really falls apart, you can still take some money out of it. So that's okay. We're still doing okay for the day. And there's could still be some opportunities. The market does seem bearish. It seems like the market orders continue to be sells, right? Okay, so let's see what happens with this big order at 40.60 that's been there for such a long time. Oh, look at that. That's curious. Okay, there they went through them. Yeah, okay. Oh, hold on. Okay. So here's what we're going to do on this one. So what happened to the guy who lost a bunch of his Bitcoin? How can I find his Bitcoin? Well, some there's kind of this thing that like markets are a net what is the word? Zero-sum game. Generally true, but there can be, if the actual value of the asset is changing, there can be a situation where everybody makes money or everybody loses money. And probably what the situation in Bitcoin is that, just money is, some of this money was just made out of thin air anyways. It's just literally being destroyed. That's a way more applicable to stocks though, right? Like that's how everybody can kind of win in the long run for stocks. Okay, so let's just note that here at this price, what should we use to mark this? I'll put an I. That at this price is an area where there's a vacuum. There was a big order came down, and then after it went through, a big buy came in and swept them up, and that disrupted the book a lot. I don't know, not going too well at the moment though, huh? We got some good favorable excursion on it, but so far it's actually been kind of more random than anything. Need to make sure I keep TweetDeck up. I keep moving over to the YouTube screen and not pulling out the the tweet deck, because there's lots of tweets come through. Fed's Bullard, I think inflation will remain above 2% in 2022, but that will be consistent with the framework. Oh, Gamma Trader posted a picture of somebody making big money in the cryptocurrencies off of puts, but he deleted it. He didn't show it for very long. Ouch. Okay, so what that sound was, for those of you that are new, is that there was a slip. Like, that indicates that somebody caught slippage where they put an order in and it executed 2 prices below where it was supposed to. Ouch. Yeah, is this just going to completely fall apart on us? I guess so. You got to get out. Could be worth getting back in, though. I will probably, well, I'm going to be careful about that spot, though. Right? We're getting a little bit of a red bar there in Bitcoin. Sheesh. Oh, man. Maybe I need to just step off the gas here for a little bit, or look at the treasuries a bit more. So we are getting Fed's Bullard talking that. That could disrupt the markets a bit too. Right? Oh, you know what? No. Flat. Gotta switch accounts here. Okay. I'm gonna do the hands off for a little bit. We're still fine. Okay. Okay. Off to work. Thanks for watching, Brett. We're asking what will be the outcome? Well, I don't think that anybody really knows. You just remember a lot of this stuff is random. You know, like this here. Okay, that didn't work. It's random. I mean, I suppose I could just be trying to sell it, but you know, it could flip there. It could buy. I don't really know. Sure is pretty ugly action though, huh? They can't. The buyers just can't get a break at all. There's like these little gasps for air, but the market orders never change. Could just be a trend down day. I don't know. I think we really have to start questioning the back to over previously back to 4111, the gap fill trade. Like, we kind of have to be questioning that now. Also, I think part of my problem here is I really shouldn't be, yeah, look at that. Okay, so let's back up. I'm using my experimental account right now. So let's just back up here and just take 16 tickers for a bit. Fed's alert, unclear if labor participation rate will return to pre-COVID levels given pace of retirements. Don't give up. They want coin holders to cash. Oh man, yeah. It doesn't matter to me. Like, some of this is just, it happens. You know. Yeah, this whole idea that like we've got to hold the line and you're gonna buy here and that's gonna make the yeah, you can affect the market like that in the short run, but playing those games are gonna screw you over in the long run. That's why these kinds of declines happen. So just don't play that game. Look for a real inefficiency that you like know that you can prove is there, you know, or accept that you're just gambling. Here in this situation, what are we doing? We're trying to just take advantage of risk, right? Okay, so now that I caught one and I've caught two, I'm gonna try letting this one run a little bit. No. Oh, actually. Okay, hold on. Hold up. So treasuries still seem to be backed off quite a bit. We might actually have a spot there. We're gonna like really. Yeah, almost. Come on. There we go. Oh, Jay is starting to take some trades, huh? Oh, they both lost money. That's funny. There we go. All right, well, that's not bad. I would really like to have my average below 40.60, but below that heart, I'm an inflation hawk. Now, sorry if I'm not paying too much attention to all the comments. I should really be reading all the comments out for you guys, but I'm really engrossed in this action. Treasury's fault. Probably could have sold that one. Maybe not. Yeah, but Michael Saylor just tweeted 45 minutes ago, I've acquired 111,000 Bitcoin and have not sold a single Satoshi. And you're throwing pennies off after what is the phrase? You're throwing pennies off after dollars trying to get a positive headline to save your investment. When the reality here is that today you went underwater big time. And if there's another move down, he is so screwed. What do you think all your bondholders are going to do when they realize that you invested it all and you're losing money on your investment, right? Invested it all in Bitcoin and you're losing it. Well, there's a lot of market oscillation around this 62 area. Like I said, it was a vacuum. Yeah. By the way, we did see somewhat of a recovery in cumulative delta. Cool. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. Don't let them computer quits. Or are they running windmills or solar? You guys are so funny. Okay, well, we may have finally caught the trade that we want. Like this is yeah, because we just pushed through those areas where there was some slips on the top side. Yeah, I think this could turn in. It's kind of funny because you'll get these things where it's like it's wrong a bunch of times in a row. And then you catch the big one in the direction that you originally want. And I don't know what to do about it. It's really frustrating. Oh, look at that. Somebody in retail really wanted it right there. And the bond's kind of thickened up there. Oh, look at that big old order in the 5-year. Elon Musk is laughing. Dude, I can't get inside that guy's head, man. I don't know what he's thinking. I certainly do see a lot of evidence to suggest that surely he should have known some of these things that he's saying now before he started pumping it, right? But maybe he was pumping Dogecoin. I don't know. It's just the whole thing just doesn't make sense to me. Oh, sweet. I'm 633 in line in that treasury one. Oh, I'm loving that one. That one was great. I probably should have taken a lot more. I think I should have taken a lot more in my treasury trades because I'm doing pretty well with it today. But that one in particular, I'm gonna watch out for that more often. Okay, the buyer in the 5-year moved his order up. That could be a hedge. Maybe Alon is shorting it. I don't know, dude. So there's 3 theories. One theory is that he didn't really know all of these things before and something happened that kind of changed his mind. One theory is that he's known all along and he's just messing around with the markets. Another one that I've seen that seems plausible to me is that he believes in Dogecoin more than Bitcoin. But I'm not a mind reader. If I was a superhero, if I could pick any superpower, it would be mind reading, no question about it, man. See, everybody wants to think that they know what other people are thinking, but we really don't. We really don't. Okay, so they got back to the open. I'd say it was a pretty encouraging move up here, but it is slowing down a little bit. I suppose it's not unusual to have that kind of action around the open. So we'll see if they can break above like 73 and get it to run up to the highs again. Because they might just zip through that area if they do it. Oh dear, TikTok banned PragerU on their platform? There was no reason for that. Really? I wonder what they posted. They might have posted something that was just, enough for them to justify doing it. I think you are a mind reader. I wish. The thing is even if I was a mind reader, then I would be saying I wish that my superpower was persuasion, right? Because I would know what people are saying and I would want to be teaching them the things that they're wrong about and trying to change their views so that they could make more effective decisions, and they won't believe me. I think that if Xavier was a real thing, if the X-Men was a real thing, that they wouldn't be able to do all of the things that you see the X-Men do in the movies, because even though he had those mind powers, he wouldn't be able to convince anybody of anything. I guess that it is a thing to some extent, because there's that whole argument between him and Magneto. He can read minds, but he can't convince Magneto to not, be a genocidal maniac. Kraken says Ethereum and ERC20 token deposits and withdrawals are currently delayed. So you see what's going on here, right? Because we've had such a huge decline, everybody is trying to move their coin and the blockchains can't handle it. Ethereum and Bitcoin in particular can't handle it. So it could be that all of those people move their coins and then the market's recovered and they're like, okay, it's fine, we don't need to do anything. But it could also mean that there's more selling on the way, right? I don't know. I see a lot of people looking at this 30K and they're going to be like, oh yeah, we want to buy it now. That was the dip. It's over. Buy the dip. It's going to go to all new highs. It could. But yeah, I'm not going to take that risk. I'm not going to take that risk. It would be an unprecedented thing if they dipped and went to all new if 30K was the low and they went to new all-time highs. Thought it was a snowball effect, people panicking. Yeah. The key though is that 35,000 was a critical level. 35,000 was a critical level. So they have to maintain that. If we start seeing more extended selling below 3,500, that's when you start to get problems. Okay, well, there's a little bit of decline. The market seems to be handling it okay so far. I'm still not seeing... well, we saw a decent amount of buying, like market buying versus market selling. Enough for it to show up on the chart. It doesn't overcome all of the action from earlier, but it is enough, and it's been long enough now that there's a pretty good chance that the selling is over. So normally, if it's going to be like if we got like a big meta order that's just going to sell all day, they would probably have come in by now. But I think that these stop outs that you saw around the 64 area kind of suggests that there was some people piling on short and that they got stopped out. Got something in my eye here. Like an eyelash. Let me take my contact out. Oh, I want to watch this later. Things crypto gurus said about Bitcoin at 50 when it was 5,200. That's curious. This big order here in the 10-year, 14.5. But they're still kind of stuck in this area. What are you trading? I'm trading the E-minis. I'm gambling on E-minis over here. They're going to come all the way back. They come back so fast. So fast. Wow. Look at that. Okay. How's Jay doing over here? They're both sucking it up. How are they both losing? Okay, no, that's right. That's right. They got 62%. That's right. Okay. This one. What did he get? 50%. Okay. So this kind of intolerance, that's still like within the realms of randomness. Kathy Wood still thinks Bitcoin will go to 500,000. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Jamie has gone to a beta of 1 to ES? Really? Your eye surgery, how did it go? I wish. I need eye surgery. That's what I need to do. You definitely need more appreciation. Suck up time here like Hollywood. Hey, listen, I'm not like, I don't have all the answers right. That's the problem. The problem with a channel like this is that people want to come in and have all of the answers. Here's this pattern. You do this thing. You'll always make money. It's easy, right? And trading doesn't work like that. You're never going to have all the answers, right? And I'm always going to have periods where I'm just absolute trash, right? Sucks, but that's the way that it is. Probably to be more famous, I would need to adjust the focus of the channel away from my trading and towards just reporting financial news, right? Well, I have to say this move down, it's on pretty low volume. It seems like buyers are just the bids are just kind of pulling out of the way. So there's definitely a disrupted order book there. I don't know if that means they're going to go to new lows, or if they flip back up, it could probably flip back up just as hard. Oh man, oil is just getting creamed right now, by the way. That could be part of it. I think part of this decline could be a lot of the U.S. economy is based in oil. Well said, financial news. Good idea. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to do it, to be honest with you. Like, do I just need to start posting? So I used to do like a daily recap sort of a thing. I did that for a week, right? It wasn't great. It wasn't like a disaster, but the 1 week that I did it didn't really get picked up or anything. I think that I would need more of I guess I couldn't it would need to be more like a research video about a specific topic, right? Which would be a lot more work, right? And to do one like every day, that's the other thing, is I'd have to do it I think I would have to be doing it full time, probably, but. Or I would need employees to help me write the stories and research them and stuff. So it's kind of doing that skipping around at the low thing again. E-minis are a little elevated. Oh, that's actually interesting. They spread out a lot there. So what's the 2 and 10 doing there? I don't know about that. That's a little curious. No, not how you want to get filled. Scratched it. Elon Musk says Tesla has diamond hands. Okay. So all that means is that Bitcoin is gonna have to go quite a bit lower for them to puke. I want to retweet that. Or I want to comment on that. What do I want? How do I want to say it? Well, by the way, I did catch that over there. That makes me happy. Should I try it again? No, I think that I need to just kind of hold off on that one. Now, I'm kind of wondering with the two J's here, because the J's are like really HFT-ish, and I would think that in this kind of action that they could get tossed around a little bit, yeah. Elon just bumping it up now. I don't know. Like the thing is that the recovery to 3,600 has been quite anemic. I'm sure that when it declined, that those was like margin calls, right? There you go. That's more like it. Yeah, I don't think that one's gonna work. Yep. There could be a level break set up right here. How much further? I don't know. I'm really feeling like 30K is probably the low of the day, yeah? Whoa. Whoa, you see that? That could take us to new highs. Wowee. Dude, that market order pushed the market almost 10 points all on its own. Did you see that? That was crazy. Well, if it brings them up to a new high, that could be really good. But if them slowing down right there, because if they come back to the order, I'm going to be awfully unhappy. Maybe a news channel opinion online, I'd listen with viewer participation. Yeah, that's what I think I would like to do. Like, I don't know. I think I would like to make a lot more one-off videos like Graham Stephan, but much more market research based, like really talking about the price of certain assets and the factors that are influencing them at the time and analyzing the news and the risks and so forth. It's a lot of work, right? I can't post a video like that every day. Like I could do that every week, and then on the weekly videos I have educational stuff that I still want to get out, so I can't do that right now. That's why I was like, yeah, if I was doing it full time or I had employees. So what you got to do then is make sure that you click the like button and subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos, and you come in here every day. And we build the channel up a little bit by a little bit, and maybe someday the channel will be to the point where I can do that. And we can do some real research, and I can hire people to do research. Wouldn't that be cool? So I know there's a lot of analysts on YouTube per se, but I haven't seen anybody do it in a professional capacity like that. I would love to try and build, a research outfit on the level of the big banks do, but it's on YouTube. Of course, it wouldn't be the same level, but that would be cool. There's lots of things that we could do, but for now, focus is working on our trading, taking risks when it's appropriate. So it seems like here today, so this in the end ended up being profitable for me, right? But I didn't take it with live orders, and I had some pretty big drawdown first too. So we have to work on that. And I'm not quite sure what I've got to do to deal with it. I think that maybe sometimes it's just luck of the draw, and there's nothing much we could have done about it though, So, but that's kind of where we're at. So, but I guess it's good in that, you know, I'm not taking so much risk that I can't dig myself out of the hole, and that I actually do have an okay read on the market for the short term. So this kind of a trade is really difficult because there's not like a real catalyst. So it's really hard to know where it's going to go and when it's going to bounce and stuff, you know? So anyways, I guess I got to go. I shouldn't put an order out like that, huh? Guys, I will see you tomorrow. Do you need a money counter? Listen, I would, if the first thing that I would hire, I think, would be somebody to help do script writing. Like, I'm going to write out the basic thing, and then somebody would turn it and spice it up and make it more interesting. That and like a video editor, those are the first things that I think we would need. But I think that on a longer term, you would need people to manage all sorts of things. If we really get to that big of a thing and I have employees and you need an accountant and stuff like that, yeah. Anyways, big pipe dreams, maybe someday. Stay